Well, hello. It's Saturday noon. I've got a couple hours I have to work with, so I'm going to try to do something on this front end. I got a few parts. I have got some A-arms. These are takeoffs from a gentleman that had a 2019 NorthStar. Took these A-arms off to put arched A-arms on. So these are brand new, never been used. 0 miles on them. I also have, whoa, there's some sunlight. Some boxes here. I have two upper tie rods and a brake line for this side. So we should be able to assemble some of it. I have an axle on order, so it'll be here this week. So I'll assemble some of it and probably wait for the axle, but I'm going to take this part today too. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. I'm going to take that contraption apart to get all that stuff so I can put the brake line, get the spindle, whatever that thingamajigger is called. So that's what we're going to do. I probably ought to clean up a little bit of that dirt that's up in there. So I'm going to try to work on that for the next couple hours and see how far I can get. Quick update on this left suspension and the tire. I was able to get everything off. I was able to get the A-arms off. I've put the new A-arm in. I got the axle out, got the tie rod out. I put the new tie rod in. These are takeoff parts from 2020 or 2019 machines. And I got the tire all tore down. Now I have the spindle and stuff. So all I'm waiting for is a axle to come in tomorrow, and then I should be able to reassemble this side. I'll probably do the brake line tonight as well. So we're getting close on this one. Hopefully tomorrow night we should have this tire put on, and then we can take it to the car wash and clean this thing up a little bit. I think I'm going to tear into the rear as well. As I pointed out, the rear left-hand side tire is leaning in way bad. I'm suspecting an upper control arm, but I'm going to take it apart possibly tonight and see if I can determine what that is. But hey, we're making progress. Yeah, things are looking good. Getting that CV joint out of the differential in the front after it's been busted off right there. Yeah, that was challenging. That was a pretty good challenge, but we got her out. So stay tuned. I should mention, in part of the video, I was taking the axle off the spindle on the tire side, and I did not have a socket that fit it. So I thought, why not use a pipe wrench? So I used a pipe wrench and got that axle nut off, but I am gonna go get a socket. So I have that size socket that'll fit this axle nut, so I can put it back on properly. But hey, seemed to work. Alrighty, well, I just got the axle delivered to me on the front porch. It's after work. I got a little bit of sunlight left, so I'm going to try to put this axle in this front end. This front end that's been patiently waiting. I'm going to put the axle in that and see if we can get the brake line, the new brake line hooked up, and the tire on, and see if we can actually move this thing. I tore apart the rear, the upper control arm. I got to put that back together because the part's not going to be here for I don't know when, maybe next week. My goal tonight, before it gets too dark, maybe even in the dark I'll drive it, is to drive this thing out of the garage with the front end working good. The rear end tire will still be leaning in like a dirty bugger, but that's okay. I'm going to try to take some time lapse. I'll try to not capture any plumber's crack because that angle is about what the angle is. So I'm going to switch over and we'll try to install this axle. Okay, so we think we have this side rebuilt essentially. We put in 2 new A-arms, an axle, and a new tie rod, and a new brake line, and we just put the tire on. So we think this side should be okay. But we did discover as we were bleeding the brakes, brake line squirting out from underneath here somewhere, up underneath there. I think it's a brake line that goes to the other side. So I'll have to investigate that, and we will probably be replacing another brake line. And they aren't cheap. They're expensive.
Yeah, something's leaking.
Yeah, got some brake fluid leaking. But our immediate goal is to get this, and then the rear tire, we're gonna put that back together real quick and throw a tire on it, even though it's leaning in, we know that, and see if we can take it for a drive down this gravel a little bit, just to get a sense for what else could be wrong with it. And then we want to get it on the trailer and take it to the car wash so we can clean all this up, so I can see what else we got going on. Okay, we threw the back tire on. Looks like it's probably going to rub on the suspension. We're going to try it anyway. So we're going to try to move it under its own power to try to determine, are there any other issues with the drivetrain other than the rear left suspension that I need to be focused on. So Wyatt's going to film while I move it out of the garage and move it down the gravel driveway a little bit. So let's try that, Wyatt. On the straight edge, you got the seatbelt on.
There's that leaning tire. Oh, it was smoking.
discovered some new stuff, but I think we're gonna load it up on the trailer, and we're gonna load it up on the trailer tomorrow and take it to the car wash.
Okay.
Maybe we'll load it tonight.
I'm getting drenched. Swipe you guys off.
Well, hello. It's Saturday morning, kind of ish. It's 11. I've been taking down the Christmas lights. Me and Wyatt have been taking them down. It's pretty warm out here. I think it might even be 50 degrees today. Unusual. So I thought we'd better get the Christmas lights off before the sun ruins them. Yesterday we took it to the car wash. Day before we put the tire on. Well, I'm going to slide out of the way. We noticed something new. I'm going to give you a chance to tell me if you see something. Give you a hint. Yeah, passenger side sits about 2 inches lower than the driver's side. The A-arm's bent, so looks like I'm gonna end up doing what I did on this side to this side, replacing the A-arms, both A-arms, and the brake line's cut. So we'll be changing the brake line. So 3 of the A-arms, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear, we're gonna have to change. And I have a feeling that I'll probably find something wrong with the passenger side rear too. So who knows, by the end of this project we might replace every A-arm on this machine. Yeah, didn't really want to do that, but whatever. Okay, so I know I need to replace these A-arms, but I think I'm going to strip some of this machine down today and then circle back around and work on the A-arms. Kind of tired of working on the A-arms. I want to get the doors off and the top off and see what damage is done to this cage, roll cage, and then we'll make a plan on how to put it back, whether I'm buying new pieces or I'm trying to bend it back. We'll determine that when we get some stuff off of it. I'm gonna pull it out of the garage, clean up my mess, because I make a mess everywhere and there's a whole bunch of dirt underneath it. So I'm gonna pull it out, clean up the garage, then we'll pull it back in and I'll start stripping the doors and the seats and as much as I possibly can to get in to see what that cage is doing and see how bad it's bent and all that jazz. So stay with me and we'll pull this thing apart.